of it, it should remain South African, and so do the Indian shareholders. So I think that is not an unrealistic aspiration for the South Africans to seek to retain the South African nature of the company, and the Indians to want to maintain the Indianness of the company. And this is not an issue that I think we should be surprised about. This is an issue that will have to be addressed, and I suspect maybe the structure today does not address it, and does not address it to the satisfaction of both sides, and will just need to get revisited. And maybe there is a structure where there is a holding company and the two subsidiaries remain subsidiaries, and they can remain independently listed, or something to that sort. I mean, I am not the financial, the advisor to this deal, obviously.
Right.
But there is clearly, I see in my mind that there can be a way out of this because of the compelling logic of the merger.
Right. Of course, just an aside, ADAG has come out with a statement saying almost that we told you so, because it was the same issues that held it up. MTN was expecting too much, South African government was expecting too much. But Rajeev, at the end of the day, is that the only path out for Sunil Bharti Mittal with the kind of size that he's accumulated in the Indian market, that he has to go abroad, considering that ARPUs have been coming down, minutes of usage have been coming down, and there is intense competition? Is this the only way out for a company of that size?
No, I don't subscribe to the belief that, or to the theory that Bharti is the only suitor for MTN and MTN is the only suitor of Bharti. I think they all have multiple options available. But the reason why this is so compelling is that the Middle East, Africa and India represent the three markets for anybody in the cellular space that are the most attractive. And these are attractive from point of view of growth, and they are very similar in terms of their ARPUs and the whole economics of customer acquisition and customer revenues. So there is a dramatic amount of synergy between these two companies that could have created a powerhouse going forward. So I genuinely believe that this industrial financial logic of this merger is so compelling that people will find a way out to create an acceptable structure that meets both the aspirations of the South Africans as well as the Indians.
Right. I mean, I think Rajeev, the point that was clear, I mean, in the official release is clearly that, I mean, at the end of it, the blame, so to speak, though very gently, has been laid at the door of the South African government. And Bharti clearly says that the structure needed an approval from the government of South Africa, which expressed its inability to accept it in its current form. And in view of this, both companies have decided to disengage. Now, the interesting thing is that it appears from this that the Indian government or the Indian side was entirely with the Mittals, Sunil Bharti Mittal or Bharti in allowing this transaction to go through. Do you agree with that assessment?
No, I think that is being oversimplistic, Govind, because at the end of the day, the reality is that both sides, in a tango like this, both sides have to be happy. So the question of blaming the South Africans or saying that we were right and they were wrong, that just doesn't work. In a merger like this, which is a complicated merger, it is trans-geography, trans-culture. Essentially, unless everybody around the table is happy with what they're getting, there's no point saying 80% of people are happy and the 20% aren't, or the 50% are happy and the 50% aren't. It just, the dynamics of a merger are that everybody must feel that they're walking away with something that's win-win. And if the South Africans don't believe that it's a win-win for them, it just needs to be made win-win for them. They just have to be persuaded through either an alternate structure or some time or persuasive abilities of Sunil Mittal or all of the above.
Right, Rajeev, thank you very much for joining us.